Hi everyone and welcome to this video, Tom Frontier video. Now, today I thought I'd pull out an old friend here. This is a machine that you've not seen for a wee bit. It is, of course, the ThinkPad 380D. And, well, I've been busy on this thing. First of all, I pulled out the original hard disk, IBM Travel Star, which says it's a 6 gig, something that wasn't an original option on the ThinkPad. Not at all, really. You could get a 6.4 gig. According to a Wikipedia article, you could get a 6.4 gig in the 380X. I think, and the Z, but yeah, you know, it was generally, I think you got up to something like a 4 or a 5 gig, you know, a standard on the 380Ds. Now, this was kind of a mid-range laptop. I've been sleuthing about this machine. And one of its unique selling features, something that I always commend, and this machine shall be no exception. One of the unique features, it has both a CD-ROM drive and a floppy drive as standard. Both built into the case, you don't have to do any hot swapping, which basically means for legacy purposes, when you might need access to a floppy and a CD-ROM at the same time, as you can do, especially when going on to install Windows 95 or something, booting from a boot disk, it is so much better to have your floppy and your CD-ROM active at the same time. Some of you will remember what problems I had with the Dell Latitude CP. For some reason I can't change anything in that BIOS. So, you know, I was only allowed to boot from floppy disks, but of course that's got a that's got a hot swap drive-by, so it's like, you know, I can have floppy, but, you know, MS-DOS isn't plug and play. I can't just plug in the CD-ROM drive and expect MSCDX to work. If at boot time a CD drive is not detected, it's dumped. The CD-ROM drive isn't detected, the drive is dumped. Okay. Well, a couple of things I would like to show you. Before we get into the main thing, I want to show you this. I've made my own custom Windows 95 boot disk. Yeah, and for some reason this laptop is really, really loud. Because obviously some of my machines don't have an inbuilt CD-ROM drive, I instead use the PC card CD-ROM drive. This Windows 95 boot disk now has a couple of options. I can either boot with internal CD-ROM support, boot with the Arcos PC card CD-ROM support, which is useful for machines like the Dell Latitude XPI or the Compaq Armada 4131T, the machines that just don't have a CD-ROM drive built into the chassis. And then, of course, I've got boot without CD-ROM support altogether. And you'll notice that the writing is blue. And, you know, as you go into DOS, it will remain blue until you start a program that obviously goes and changes it back, like some sort of a miser program might. Something like fdisk would do that, actually. I've even put some instructions. So yeah, I'm just going to Control-Alt-Delete out of this, and then I'll show you Windows itself. And I think I'll flip off the light to do that. So I've installed Microsoft Windows 95B on this. It's now using a 5GB hard disk in this machine. And it's got IBM's unique hard soft program for Windows 95. Using the same desktop wallpaper as the other IBM ThinkPad, the 760E. But it looks a wee bit bleh because I'm in 256 colour mode at the moment. And you'll kind of know why in a few. There's obviously, I've obviously put in the OEM info. This machine's got a Pentium 150 megahertz. This doesn't have MMX, but it's got Pentium 150 megahertz with 48 megs of RAM and NeoMagic 128 XD graphics card. So this is Microsoft Plus enabled, which basically means if I go to accessories and then games, I get 3D pinball. Which is actually quite funny because, I mean, this was included, this game, it was included, I'm really not good with this. I just kind of flip the flippers and hope something happens. I mean, this game was included with Windows NT 4, Windows 2000, and obviously Windows XP, but not with Windows 98 RME, and you couldn't, unless you actually just copied the files over, you couldn't actually officially get it on Windows 98 RME, which is a, you know, I think that's a crying shame. Hang on, actually, I'm thinking I may actually did have pinball. Can't you mind, actually? But it's like, I mean, this game was part of Microsoft Plus 95. If you weren't going to be able to officially install it on Windows 98, why not just give us it? Because, I mean, they gave us the Microsoft themes. The desktop themes from Windows 95 Plus. You know, or they could have stuck it in the, you know, Plus for Windows 98 back if they wanted us to continue to pay for it. Oh well. My usual install of Office for Windows 95, which I have on these older Windows 95 machines. My newer ones I have gone for Office 97. Some of you will have noticed a newer version of Internet Explorer than I normally would install on these machines. And there is actually a good reason for that. And yes, I am aware the interface looks absolutely terrible in 256 colour mode. Not that you get to see it. Because this must be a later version of the IBM Configuration Center. And as such, you actually do need okay, let's start it from the start menu. You actually, for some reason, need Internet Explorer 4.0 or later. And even then, even now, it's just not even responding. At least before it used to, you know, tell me what I needed it for it to run, but now it's just not doing anything. So, yeah, I'm a wee bit disappointed in that. It's Paint Shop Pro 4. Microsoft Money. CardWorks. Yeah, I'll show you CardWorks. Basically, it seems to be kind of like, you know, the old CardSoft for DOS program, but for Windows. And you can actually install MS-DOS CardSoft drivers. I really don't know. I mean, I've installed this program and it's kind of nice. It's made it now so I can just go ahead and eject a card without it having a right go at me and locking up and creating and what have you. But I don't know why this program is kind of there, because, you know, it actually makes the process of installing cards more difficult. The browse option doesn't seem to work when you're actually just looking for a driver file, so you have to automatically know the path. Of course, sometimes paths are, you know, thanks to, you know, long file names, and that path can sometimes be very easy to mistype. Something like /my documents /downloads megahertz 574b /win32. I don't know. It's whereas with the Find New Hardware wizard, you can just do that anyway. I mean, obviously, if you get the path right, your prize is that the new hardware wizard actually goes off and you know, installs the driver, but it says, "Oh, please insert the disk," and then you've got to go and kind of tell it the path again. But obviously, being Windows, you can actually use the browse option. So I really don't know what the point of this program is. I do have Microsoft Publisher for Windows 95. For those people who don't remember it, well, here it is. And the program has changed quite a bit since then, but I think the fundamentals are still the same. You know, I mean, I think this is just literally Publisher 2 with an extra wee toolbar at the top and 32-bit support. And while this is showing with the Windows 95 dialog box and support for long file names in Windows 95, in Windows NT 3.51, this will not give you long file name support like Office 97 would. It will actually just kind of act like... Yeah, I mean, obviously it's still 32-bit Publisher, but it uses a 16-bit dialog box, and it just kind of looks like Publisher 2 with a fancy toolbar and, you know, fancy new splash screen and icon. Of course, here we have Works 4.0. Reminds me of the Compact Presario. Please excuse me, I'm not feeling the greatest. Got a bit of a winter cold. Okay. So originally this machine will have been business orientated. But what would happen if, let's say, Billy Corr's game collection were available? How would this laptop take to being played like it was one of Billy's Packard Bells? Well, that were a way to find out. Now, I have tried running this game in 16-bit colour mode, and on some computers it works fine. On this one, it really doesn't. You need to be in the 256 colour mode. And this is not like Jazz Jackrabbit, where it'll just kind of hold your hand and just say, "Oh, I'll do it." Oh, yeah. Yeah, and to be honest, trying to play it one-handed, I did lose my tripod. Of course, last time I filmed this computer, I had access to one. I do love that. Look. I think my favourite thing, though, you're a way to see it. Cow launched. Why did that cow need launched? If you go onto Billy's channel, there's a really good video of him. It's a really good video of him at 7, playing this game at 7 years old on his original Legend 822 CDT. And even at that age, he was really good at it. My goodness, you should have seen him go. He must have had so much practice, whereas I've never seen this game. I'm pretty sure when I was in school I had a ROM for it for the Sega Genesis, but personally I'd never really played it, so, first time I really saw this game was when I saw that video of Billy's. However, I did get to see the TV programme of Earthworm Jim. I forget that there was that obviously it was a TV programme. It's like Sonic, well, actually I don't know which came first. I don't know whether the Sonic cartoons came first or whether the game came first. I actually got to see the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons before I got to play the game, so I thought, yeah. Obviously in the 90s, every TV show got a game about it. Unfortunately, the crappier ones actually still do now. X Factor. You can actually get X Factor karaoke games. I'm sorry, I'm not going to play that. X Factor, for those of you across the pond, it's what Pop Idol used to be over here. It's basically Britain's equivalent of Pop Idol, or American Idol rather. And to be honest, I'm not going to be playing that game. I do have a karaoke game. It's called Let's, and I used to play it with one of my friends, who's now actually moved over to the United Arab Emirates. Oh well, let's kind of wrap that up nicely. Yeah, but me and this friend used to battle it out on Lips. It was quite funny. But then we realised that the game was deeply flawed. I mean, you could just basically be singing a completely different tune. I mean, it's like it could be playing, Richard Marx. What's that song of his? Right Here Waiting. Richard Marx, and you could be there singing something like, I don't know, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, and you'd still get a pass. If you were there singing Ragdoll into it and it was playing Richard Marx's Right Here Waiting. So, yeah, these karaoke games aren't the best. And, however, I am rambling about other things. Personally, I just don't care. Other people do, so I have the right. It's amazing what one game can make you think about, though. I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to try some DOS games. I have tried Rayman, but it keeps crashing. Even under Windows, it just will not play. It just locks up. It's just a great big headache. And yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know. I just gaming wise, this laptop isn't the greatest, but then again, it's a business machine. It was never meant for that. However, the speaker's good, but then again, it is quite a big speaker for a laptop. But then again, look at all the rail estate it's got. So yeah, this has been a wee look at the ThinkPad 380D. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please subscribe. www.youtube.com/Video Sans Frontiere. or failing that, I will put the URL up in in a couple of screens or so. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe. Please come back for more videos.